just to make sure that I'm not judgmental and I give the coachee an opportunity to reflect.
That's what I was gonna say. I like that you said as you think about, so you're
Yeah.
asking the coachee to begin thinking back and reflect on that lesson. So
And it's
that
really
at the beginning
important
is
that
great.
you didn't she didn't rephrase that question and did you notice a lack of engagement with that? So that way she's not giving a yes or no answer and she's really probing the deeper thinking.
So we need to have a writer, and what we'll need to
volunteer to
do
be
is
the
we have our
writer.
markers there, so we need to go back through the whole model.
First one is situation. And can you go ahead and share your situation with us again?
Sure. On Thursday during your 6th hour, 8th grade social studies class,
All right, is that it?
you had 26 students present.
And I like the idea of us being very specific. All right, so let's change colors. So we make that impact. All right, the next one is
Behavior,
gonna be the behavior.
Behavior.
All right, and can you share your behavior?
You lectured for 20 minutes on the Michigan primary and asked students to summarize with a graphic organizer the key points in their own words.
I like how specific that was to about, that you lectured for 20 minutes.
You get the time in
So
there.
you really knew that, so that teacher knows how long they were standing in front of the class lecturing.
So the impact now.
All right.
So I observed during the lecture 15 out of the 26 students
I like that number again.
summarized using a graphic organizer.
Okay, and I'm gonna flip. All right. Okay,
11 students did not complete the graphic organizer or share key points. So our inquiry question that we kind of talked about and tweaked a little bit was, as you think about your graphic organizer for summarizing, what ideas do you have about the 11 students not completing the key points and sharing? I'm thinking that we could do something with a positive presupposition and say possibly something like, knowing that you value student engagement,
wonderful.
Yes.
something like
That
that.
is perfect.
So
That's
we could,
perfect.
So we're gonna start off with knowing
that you
value.
value student engagement.
That really does sound great. That's perfect.
What ideas might you have about the 11 students?
And there's that inquiry word again, might.
Not completing the graphic organizer to summarize with. Yep.
I really like that inquiry question at the end, knowing that you value student engagement.
So I think when we're
It adds
wrapping
to it.
up the SBI model, it's really important to really think about how you get from point A all the way to kind of point D and how all this connects in a circle to plan for the next session that you're gonna have with the coachee.
That's
The
true.
So
whole
let's
point
talk
is to
about-
mediate thinking.
Yeah.
Yes.
So let's kind of reflect on the process. So we started off with our situation. So if there's a main component to take away from the situation, wouldn't you say it's to make sure that you're giving a specific scenario to make sure that you're not making any generalizations?
Right.
Definitely.
And using that word
The facts and the
generalization is key.
details. And
That are
just-
obvious. They're obvious, specific details that the coachee knows you're referring to.
Right. And then when we're going to behavior, we're really focusing on exactly what we saw. We're not making
The teacher doing.
Right.
Exactly, the
Teacher doing,
actions.
right, the actions of the
Using-
coachee.
The verbs and language that you saw in the classroom.
And this is where our biases really come in, and we really need to make sure as coaches we keep ourselves in check to make sure that we are only talking about what we observed that day.
Just the
So
facts.
Good point.
the facts.
Yep, just the facts.
And then the impact too, I think, is a good place to make sure. I know when I worked on that, previously I was worried because I said something like only 11 students, and I thought, we need to pull out that word only because that sounds judgmental. And I think validating in the beginning that 15 of the students, and I think it's Actually, 15 of the, actually, we can correct that a little bit. 15
Okay,
of the
yeah, 'cause I'm
26.
15 of
Oh,
the
we had
The 26.
26.
26.
That's
So
correct.
let's make sure we're
Situation.
giving the right
Yes.
message.
Right.
So we want to make sure that we change here.
15 out of the 26.
Okay.
And you know, it's a good point
noticing.
that,
Yeah.
she brought that
Notice
up, because if you make a mistake like that and you say that to the coachee, they're gonna think, well, what
Yeah.
else did you think that you saw
Right.
that you really didn't see? So
And
making sure that that data is valuable and accurate is
And you
such
have
an
it written
important-
down so you
Yeah.
don't make those simple mistakes.
Okay.
So you're validating.
Do we want to make any adjustments on this end, knowing that we made them here?
11 students did not complete the graphic organizer or share key points.
Okay.
And then knowing that you value student engagement, what ideas might you have about 11 students not completing the graphic organizer?
And that impact is such a key component, because that sends a message to the teacher of all this planning that I facilitated in this lesson isn't going to give the outcome that I want to if I'm not reflecting on the processes that came to the end conclusion, whether it be the students who were engaged or not engaged.
And I like the fact that we've taken the time to make sure that we let the coachee know that we understand that they value the student engagement and that ultimately learning is our ultimate goal, because we're trying to make sure we strengthen that instructional core.
And
I
that
like
really gets
that
away
it-
from the fixed mindset to where you're promoting a growth mindset within the coachee as well.
And then what ideas is open-ended, so they may come up with something
That's the key to
and really then make the change for the next step.
Well, ladies, I think we did a great job
Wonderful.
today, and it was wonderful working with you.
Nice teamwork.
All right,
Very good.
good.
Thank you.